Welcome back to the Doll World, everyone. All right, so in my last video, I teased we are going to be doing this unboxing, and I am so glad we are here. We're doing it today. We are going to be looking at Maryellen's vintage oven and accessories. I am so excited about this, and I have to say, you know, Maryellen honestly is one of my favorites when it comes to the historicals. I am a big fan of the 1950s. I mean, when it comes to like the architecture and design, music, fashion. And so I just love her collection. And I also love that despite the fact that like, cause she's been out for like what, 10 years now, they're still giving us stuff and they're still giving us like big things. This is awesome. This was definitely one of those pieces when American Girl released it. When I first saw it, I knew I had to have it. I definitely didn't want to wait on it because, now granted, I didn't get into American Girl, like collecting American Girl like I am today until 5 years later after her release. So I missed so much. I missed all of her like original releases. I missed the refrigerator. And so I still have my eye on that. But when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm not wasting any time. I'm just gonna get this now. But yeah, I thought we would unbox this together and just kind of like talk dolls, talk American Girl, and kind of hang out like we always do. Here she is herself, Miss Maryellen. And you know what? I showed her off last time and I didn't have her gloves. I'm gonna go get her gloves right now. Okay, so I have to rifle through this. I keep all of their, oh, I don't have this one labeled, but I use like these little Sterilite containers. They're little drawers. I'll give you a little pan real quickly so you can see my collection. Now, granted, that's only part of it because these things are kind of spilling out all over the place. But in here, I've got like gloves and stuff like that. So I know they're in here somewhere. I have so many in here that are just like still in their plastic because they're things like I've unboxed but never really got. I think this is Molly's birthday socks. I just kind of like throw them in here. I really should be a little bit more organized. Okay, I know I have them out because she's worn them before. Oh, here they are. I think it's these ones. I think these are Maryellen's, aren't they? With the little bow on them. I don't know. I could be wrong. I have to go online. Those might be Melodies. All right, I just checked the internet. Yes, this is her glove. So I just need to find the partner for it. I wish I was more organized, you guys. I really do. Oh, here it is. I do have to say, I really do need to go through these and open these because they're harder to search through when they're like this because they slip and slide and they fall right out of my case. It's a whole thing. So we got Maryellen here. Let's put her little gloves on. She has her necklace on, but I also now just realized she's missing her little bracelet. She should have a bracelet to go with it as well. Although, you know what? I'm not really sure if Maryellen would be dressed up this much to go cook something in the stove. Although it was the 1950s, maybe she would be. One thing I don't have, and it kind of, I'm so bummed out that I didn't get it, was her crinoline. That little underskirt that like kind of gives her skirts more poof, more poof. I wish I had that. I never got it. And gotta love resellers, right? Every time I go online and find it, either on eBay or Mercari, it's like literally like 3 times as much as I would have spent if I just got it on this store. Not only would I have gotten it cheaper by buying it right through American Girl, but I would have gotten the points for it too. Okay, so now she's got her gloves on. I figure, I guess might as well since I have all of her stuff out. You guys, I mentioned this in my last video. My room is a mess right now as I'm knee deep in production of filming my movie. So everything is like out and about, but let's go get her little bracelet. Jewelry is in this thing. Another thing I do is I keep the boxes from American Girl and I just cut off the top and I create these little trays. They are fantastic. I really do love them. And it's also kind of like a waste not, want not situation. I think I've shown you my setup before, but so right behind you is a closet, and that's where I keep all of their clothing and clothing accessories. And then over here to the side, I have these fantastic containers that I got at Michael's years ago. That's where I store the dolls' like accessories, like books, music, movies, food, drinks, all that kind of stuff. And within each drawer, I have like just, I fill each drawer, like it's kind of like playing a game of Tetris of all these little of the American Girl boxes so I can use them to kind of keep everything corralled and kept together. It's a fantastic system. And I am dying to make that video for you guys because I know I've gotten lots of requests for it about how I set up and organize my American Girl collection and my doll room. That is coming, but it's not gonna be coming until I'm done filming this movie. Let's put this on her. I think that'll look really cute. Beautiful. Here she is. Got her little gloves on, her necklace, her bracelet. Adorable. Definitely, like I said, just definitely one of my favorite dolls. She's just so, so cute. We'll put her down here. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, I wanted to show you guys something too. Actually, maybe I should just say, I'll save this for later in the video. Let's get this oven unboxed. Okay. Yeah, I am so glad to finally have this. And I love that it's not just Maryellen that they're adding to the collections, but Melody got that cute little salon chair. That's next when it comes to play sets that I'm looking for. Oh my God, I love all the little accessories. And so, oh, and I love that I'm getting this little pot and pan kind of situation. So, a while back, I found someone on Facebook Marketplace who was selling Maryellen's Airstream travel trailer, and it was in fantastic condition, but they had no accessories, like none. Like they didn't even have like the steps that go on the front door, you know? But the actual like playset itself, the structure was beautiful. It was in beautiful condition. It still worked because it does take batteries and it has some lighting effects and sound effects and stuff. But you guys, they were only asking like 80 bucks for it. I don't think my tires ever squealed louder. I was like, hold it, I'll be right there. So I got it. So it was kind of disappointing because it had no accessories, you know, and I have found that looking for the accessories for that on their own is quite tricky, but I still search. But I'm glad I got it because it's a really cute play set and I can use it for like my movies, other things and stuff like that. Oh, that just fell out. Yeah, like 80 bucks, that's nothing because you guys, when you're looking for that thing nowadays on the secondary market, and if you want one with all the accessories, you're looking at least at like $400 on that thing. Okay, so, oh, I don't know if you guys care about this kind of stuff anymore, but like here it is. As you can see, the stove is kind of in the box there. And then they had all the accessories just kind of like bunched on top. So let's start with the main thing. Let's just get that out of the way because it's so cute. Now, some of you are gonna have to tell me because I am interested. I'm surprised that the stove is pink. It is pink. It's like flamingo pink. Was that really what stoves? Is this the color that they would have been back in that day? I guess so, right? Or I have to admit, I'm a little kind of like, or is like American Girl just trying to make this more of like a Barbie playline kind of a thing? You know, like let's make everything pink. But it is very cute. It does kind of have that like quality where it's like that light blushy pink that I think we saw a lot in the 1950s. I say we as if I was there. I wasn't even born yet, but this is just so cute. Here it is. This is so cute. I love it. And I love, oh yeah, I love how all the little knobs turn and work and they click. We got a stove, although I think something happens with the stove or this like little clock here when you put batteries in it. Oops. Doesn't look like they put the little stoppers in that we sometimes see with the drawers. This one, oh no, there is. I just happened to hold it the wrong way. It does have a little stopper. So this little warming drawer, I'm guessing that's what that's supposed to be under here. It's got a little slide out drawer. Okay, I had to check the box here really quick because I'm kind of confused about something. The box, I thought this took batteries and it did something, and the box tells us that the timer really dings, but I guess it's not a battery powered kind of a thing. Let's see. Watch I break it. Oh. I didn't hear a ding. You know what? There's probably a pamphlet inside that I need to look at. Okay, so yes, here's the little pamphlet here. And yeah, there's no batteries. It doesn't take batteries or anything. It just says, turn the switch clockwise until it stops. Clockwise, that's this way. The timer will begin and ding when finished. Note, the timer must be fully rotated for the bell to ding. Okay, so let's try this again. So we have to fully rotate this clockwise. Oh, it goes a while. Oh yeah, so you gotta basically go around the entire clock. Let me see if I can hold it up so you can kind of see it. See how it's kind of counting down? It's kind of making a weird sound. Can you hear that? Okay, let's see if it dings. I feel like I'm actually waiting for something in the oven right now. There it goes. That's cute. It's kind of still going though. It rang early. Oh, well, what do you expect? It's really, really cute. So let's get this all set up and then I can give you guys a little bit of a tour. I say that because I already recorded a little tour and I kept saying like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is for. It's like, let's open the accessories and find out first. Okay, and it also looks like the pamphlet gives us a little bit of like directions, like, light assembly is required and that there are a few trays and racks that need to be put into position. So let's do that. I don't know what it is, but I always struggle with the tape. I feel like American Girl uses the strongest tape on their stuff. Sometimes I have to use scissors. Okay, this is really cute. So first up, we've got this little oven rack that's really cute. It is made of plastic and it's a little bendy, as you can see, but in the same little packet, we get this metal dish. Or I guess it's more of like a metal, like it almost looks like a serving tray, but it looks like it's gonna fit on this top part of the stove. That is so cute because, can you hear that? It's actually made of metal and it's got little handles and everything. Super shiny. So it looks like you kind of have to be careful with it because this could probably scratch really easy. But that is cute. I love that we're getting some metal pieces here. That's cute. And so that's just, yeah, it's just gonna fit like right in place here. I'm gonna hold off on it right now because once I start moving it around, it's gonna fall right off. And it looks like, according to the picture, the rack will go into this compartment here. Oh, okay. Let's see, it goes in this way. And it looks like we've got two little notches along the side so you can, decide where you want this rack. You can have it in that like lower thirds or upper thirds. Oops, let's get it in right. So you can put it in either like the upper thirds or the lower thirds. That's very, very cute. I do like also that, let me show you in a sec. Oh, it's kind of snug, so that's nice. Let's hold on to this drawer. It won't fall out when tipped upside down. That's kind of nice. One thing that's really cute, oh, there we go. I love that they put a little finish on the door here, and it's kind of like that speckled little finish you see in like a real oven. I feel like with a toy like this, they probably could have just like saved some money and left this, the interior of this like pink plastic like the rest of it is, but they did put a little bit of a finishing touch on there. So that's cute. And then we did see it on the drawer as well. And the drawer is like fully covered in that like black spackle, kind of like material you'd see in a real working oven. Okay, and then, oh, and real quick, if you wanted to see, we've got, oh, there's some more of that here. We've got this compartment, and this compartment has 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 little notches on each side. So the trays that will go in will be able to go up much higher or lower, depending on what you like. So that must be what's in this little packet here. And with that, we get 2 little silver trays. Now, I feel like we've seen these silver trays before with like, maybe like Angelo's Bakery or Maryellen Seaside Diner, stuff like that. So yeah, just little serving trays, really cute. They're made of plastic. Now it looks like it's supposed to slide in here, but they don't. Oh no, they do fit. Okay, my eyes were deceiving me. I was like, I don't think these are gonna be big enough, but they slide in right there. I have to admit though, this is kind of odd. It kind of gives me the impression that it's like a refrigerated space, which I think would be odd to have right next to an oven. So if you lived during this time, or if you're a fan of the 1950s and you're more familiar with the real, like a real oven from that time period, like was this a warming area or was it a refrigerated space? I feel like that'd be so odd to have a refrigerated space, because the reason I ask, this accessory set comes with like sticks of butter, which makes me think there's gonna be a place to put that. I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird, it's just I find it unusual that you would have a cold space right next to an oven. In this packet, we've got like a little kitchen towel. That's so cute. I love the little red and white checker we get. And I'm just following the picture. It looks like they have it kind of over. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that looks cute. And they have it hanging on this little handle here. That's adorable. Here we've got a pot holder, and it's really cute because, of course, they've got the giant tag. But here we've got a little pot holder, and it's got the little like hook so you can hang it on something. But as you can see, it's got a little design of red and white cherries on it. That is cute. Very, very reminiscent of the 1950s. Now, one thing that's unusual about this though is like I showed you, it's got this little hook or got the loop, I guess you could say. It's got this little loop here so that you can hang it on a hook, but there's no hook on this stove. It's kind of like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Maybe they could have had something right here. I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to use this in a movie or something, I'll just put like a command strip hook there and I'll have something there. But yeah, kind of weird they didn't put it on here. Oh well. All right, and you know what? Hold on one second. There we go. Much better, right? I was like, oh, okay. I'm working on this little table and it's like tiny, tiny, tiny. And I'm like losing all my stuff. And then I was like, I also don't like how you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I got my little table here. I don't know why I didn't start with this in the first place, but now you can actually see what we're doing. So yeah, I've outfitted it with the little kitchen towel here. I do have the little silver tray on top. Much better. Now we can really spruce this up with all the accessories. Although I don't really know what to do with this pot holder because yeah, it doesn't hang on anything. We'll just put it right here for now. Okay, what do we want to look at first? Well, this one looks kind of boring. So let's open this one. It looks like we have a little colander here, a yellow colander. I was trying to do a quick little sneak peek of my accessories because I thought I did. I thought I did have a colander, like a green one, but I don't know if I do. So here is the colander. It's very, very cute. It is made of plastic, so you got the little holes there. That is very, very cute. Big handles. I'm just gonna put that like right here for now. This is a piece I've really been looking forward to. So this is the piece of cookware we get. It's got a good weight to it. And it sounds like there's something inside. Oh, that is so cute. Let me look at it first real quick before I show you. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Okay, so the lid, it's got a lid. Okay, so here it is. Check it out. So it's like a little stock pot and it's got this big handle so you could like hang it from something. It's got a lid that comes off to reveal. Check it out. She's got some chili in there and it's removable. Look at that. You can take it out. It's kind of weird like this, right? It's like this big glob of food. That is adorable. So if you're interested, it looks like it's kind of like a red stew, and I can see some like kidney beans in there, some tomatoes. I'm guessing it's like, I don't know, maybe green peppers or something. That is too cute. Okay, I went and grabbed a few accessories because I wanted to see if it would fit in like the little Dutch oven I got. This came with the American Girl kitchen, I believe. But as you can see, it's a little big. I mean, you can kind of make it work if you want to get a little funny, if you want to get a little creative with your pictures and it won't show too much. Like you could kind of make that work. But unfortunately, it doesn't fit in the stock pot. It's gonna sit like that. So that doesn't work. But obviously it's gonna fit perfectly with the one it came in. And I think that is so cute. And you can just kind of like cover it up. That's adorable. I do have to let you know though, this lid keeps falling right off. It doesn't fit the best on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the back burner right here. And so with that, with our little strainer, the stock pot and stuff, that brings us to our last bag of accessories. So it looks like the bulk of everything is in this one. Oh no. It's a giant plastic bag filled with things that are individually wrapped in plastic. Okay, first we have a pan. If you're gonna have a real working kitchen, you gotta have a good skillet. So here's where Maryellen can cook her food in. Now it's a very similar design from things we've seen many times before with like American Girl kitchens and like those blind boxes and stuff, or those blind bags that you used to get. Why don't they do those anymore? Those mystery bags, I loved those things. I got so many cute things from there, but man, it has been a minute since they've been doing those blind bags. Okay, so we got the pan here. I'm gonna put that right there. Now, I don't think I have one of these in my collection of accessories yet, and that is this little ladle. Check it out. It's like a little soup ladle. It's plastic, it's yellow, and it does have a little hook on the back, so you might be able to hook it onto something. So it does hook on to this right here. That's kind of cute. I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know how realistic it would be to hang your soup ladle on the handle of your oven, but it does work there. Next, we have something, I do have a few of these in my collections, and I think I got it from Maryellen Seaside Diner, and that is this spatula here. Now, one thing I should point out, though the ladle was plastic, this is metal. This is painted metal, so it's kind of nice. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Now this next item, I do have one of these and I forget what set I got it with, but I feel like American Girl doesn't put this accessory piece into too many of their play sets. But I think it is very, very necessary for any kind of real chef in a real kitchen, and that is a chef's knife. I mean, that's really nice, right? Like I said, I feel like we don't see this too often in American Girl play sets and food sets. I've only got one, and I cannot remember what it came with. You know, and I always wondered, I'm like, I wonder if it's because they don't want to give like little kids like sharp, I mean, it's obviously a piece of plastic, but maybe they don't want to give kids, you know, for their little world of play, something like this. But here we have it, and that is very, very cute. Of course, you know me and how my mind works. This will probably definitely make an appearance in one of my horror films for reasons other than chopping vegetables. But we can put that right there. That is so cute. And that is what we have when it comes to like kitchen and cooking equipment. Everything else is going to be food. Well, we already saw the little stew or gumbo, whatever it is in there. But yeah, I think this is really cute so far. So let's start taking a look at some of the fun stuff. Now, I'm very, very, very excited to get this next accessory, and that is 2 little sticks of butter. And first of all, I just love the way it looks. And I know that these came with the refrigerator, but here we've got 2 little sticks of butter. They are separate pieces, so I'm showing them together, but they are 2 little separate pieces. They say butter, and then on the flip side, they also say butter. So adorable. Oh, and then they are molded piece of plastic. The ends, you can kind of see through the molding. It's as if they're wrapped in little wrappers and they're folded over. That's so cute. Nice little touch there. But these are just so cute. So one of the things that has me wondering if this is supposed to be like a refrigerated area is because they've given us this butter. Like I would think that you would put these sticks of butter on this tray right here and kind of like slide this in here. Right? That makes sense. Just seems odd that you would have a refrigerated space right next to an oven. So we'll keep that open for now so you can kind of see. Now, here we've got some canned goods. Oh, and this makes perfect sense now that I'm looking at these. So let me get these in a way so I can show them to you. But we've got 3 little canned goods. And as you can see, we've got pinto beans, kidney beans, and tomato sauce. So it's the canned goods that would obviously have been used to make her little stew. That's cute. And I'm gonna grab one of these here, but you can see a little detail on the top and the bottom to kind of give you the impression that it is, you know, a can. And then it says pinto beans on the front, and on the back, it does say AG. Can you see that? Give you a little look at the kidney beans. And then here is the tomato sauce. Again, you kind of roll it around, and on the back you can see AG. One thing that's really nice is I'm looking at the rest of the food accessories that I've got here. I don't think I have any of these pieces in my collection currently, so this is great. Next, we have this bunch of lettuce. It kind of looks like romaine, a bunch of romaine lettuce. Like I said, I don't think I have this in my collection, so that's awesome. And this will obviously go into the strainer because you always want to rinse your greens, right? Okay, so it's just now clicking. I'm starting to get the idea. Everything that they've included when it comes to these little food ingredients are everything that's Maryellen would have used in this stew. Duh. I was looking at this and I thought these were lemons. And I'm like, oh, okay, cute. They're not lemons. I looked at the box. It tells me that these are onions, though they are very, very yellow. So these are obviously yellow onions, but yes, they are very, very yellow. They're like the yellow that you'd see reserved for lemons. But yes, these are onions. Very, very cute. And then, yes, and now here we've got what you definitely need when you're making chili, and that is, ooh, this one's really tight in there, a bunch of tomatoes. And they're very red, very shiny. We got the little green stems here. These have really good weight to them, I have to say as well. They don't feel flimsy or cheap in any way. These are really, really nice accessories. And then that brings us to the very last accessory. And I was right when we were first taking a look at that chili. I was like, I think those are green peppers. That is exactly what they are, because here we've got a set of green bell peppers. How cute is that? I love it. Again, good weight. It feels really solid. It's a nice accessory to have. Sorry, my fingers are getting in the way, like you can't see anything, but that's adorable. And there it is, folks. How cute is this? I just love this so much. Lots of fun to be had here, and it's also gonna look great in photos and my movies and stuff like that. Oh gosh, I just love it. One thing I'm interested to know, I wonder if the cans will fit in the drawer. Oh, they do. They fit perfectly in the drawer. So yes, with all these accessories, I think everything can just be bunched into this little drawer here and just kind of put away. Now, granted, you can also use this area too to put cooking equipment. Well, actually, maybe you might want to put your cooking equipment in here. You will have to move these things down a bit, but that's nice if everything can just be kind of like put away. Maybe this would be better off down here. Ta-da! So that's a nice touch. They've thought that through, and that all the accessories that come with it can be packed right into this little stove, and then you can just go and put this wherever you'd like to get it out of the way when you're done playing. That is very, very cute. I love how American Girl thinks through those things. Kind of helps us out a little bit when it comes to storage and putting things away. Now, this is $135, so it's not the cheapest little playset out there from American Girl. But, if you do kind of wait for one of those like buy more, save more sales, or even if you just want to get some like triple points or something, and that might be well worth it. I mentioned in a previous video, my husband gave me a gift card for my birthday, plus then I waited for the buy more, save more. So I got a nice little deal on this, but I just think this is well worth the cost. I think this is really, really cute. I was just digging through some of my kitchen accessories. Now, I kind of showed this a little bit, but I didn't show the lid. This is one of my favorite pieces. It kind of looks like a Le Creuset Dutch oven. Oh, this is so cute. I believe this came with the American Girl kitchen, not the one that's currently available, but the one before it, where it had more of like the purple hues to it. But I wanted to see how this looks. Oh, this. See, that looks really cute on it. This was the little tea kettle that came with that same kitchen, and that looks really cute on it. But then something I never mentioned on the channel, but I think I put it on my Instagram. Last year for Christmas at Williams Sonoma, they had the cutest little ornaments. And they were these little copper ornaments that look like little pieces of kitchen equipment. I got the kettle. And then here I got this little pan, this shallow pan with handles on it. And I'm hoping it's reading on camera. It's perfectly sized for American Girl. I forget, okay, these were $12.95, so they weren't super cheap, but they are metal. And so they just look really cute. Now it's an ornament, so like the lid doesn't come off or anything like that. I still have to trim the ribbon off, but you can kind of see how it kind of compares in size to like this actual American Girl kettle. It's not too bad, and I think it's gonna look really great on that. Not that the American Girl stuff looks bad or fake, Like if it was Barbie, this would probably be like bright pink, and that kind of like, I think that kind of ruins it for some of us doll people, when it comes to like the reason why we prefer American Girl over Barbie. Just because like it gives you more like natural color schemes and stuff, but this is even more realistic, right? With the copper. Oh yeah, that fits really nicely. That is too cute. I really hope Williams Sonoma does this again this Christmas, because I'll definitely be getting some more pieces. Okay, I think I've talked about this kitchen enough. All right, so I put the kitchen back here. It doesn't make much sense that it's in the bedroom. It should go down here into the kitchen, but I figured you wouldn't be able to see it very well. But I got it all set up there. As you can see, it's sized perfectly for the American Girl dollhouse, so I love that. But I thought this would be a really great time for two things. One, give you a little update on my movie, but then two, also kind of show you how I go about like making backdrops and sets. Because I think a lot of us, even if you're not making like American Girl movies for YouTube, I think a lot of us are still taking photos for Instagram. And so I wanted to kind of share how like I don't want to come off as being like, I'm the best, but I feel like I do make really cute and fun backdrops and I have a lot of fun doing it. So I thought I would kind of give you some of my like tips and tricks because, you know, if you don't have an American Girl dollhouse to put the stove in, it would be nice to create just something to give like a backdrop, right? So you can take a fun photo with it with your dolls. Yeah, and it couldn't be more perfectly timed because I'm currently dressing up one of my sets. Now, I love when it comes to creating an American Girl doll set. I love foam board. I used to use cardboard. I used to just go to like Staples, or actually my local grocery store sells really good high quality, just brown storage boxes, like moving boxes kind of stuff. But I did stop using them because I didn't like the way they cut after a while. I wanted really clean, smooth cuts. I use an X-Acto knife, and then when you couple that with a good piece of foam board, I mean, you get cuts that like, sometimes I'll cut my foam board in a way where I can't tell which one was factory cut and which one I cut myself. That's how good of a cut you can get with good quality foam board. Now, granted, not all foam board is created equal. If you do, you know, if you want to save a couple bucks, go to Dollar Tree. You're gonna find some good stuff there. But I do find that the foam board that they sell doesn't cut as well as kind of the pricier foam boards you can get at like Michael's, right? Here's one, but I have to be very careful with what I show you because if I show you the inside of it, it's gonna ruin the surprise for my movie. So I can't show you, but I love this kind of foam board where, can you see it? You can tell it's definitely made for like, you know, middle school students or elementary school students to do like their science projects on, like if they're having like a science fair or something. But it creates that nice display. And that is another reason why I absolutely love this like trifold foam board, because it can basically stand on its own. But despite the fact that I find foam board to be like really easy to use, the biggest thing, however, is the foldability. With America, you know what I mean? I have made little sets and backdrops for Barbie dolls, and I have to admit that's a little bit easier because they're so much smaller, right? But when we're working with American Girls and like 18-inch dolls, these sets can get so big and so out of control so quickly that it's very important that you kind of think in the idea of like, this is really great and this is really pretty. How can I fold this all in on itself and not damage anything, right? When I was first making these sets, I would make these big, grand sets, but there was no way to break them down without actually breaking them. And I was like, I would like scratch my head and be like, darn it, I spent so much time and, you know, money and resources building this really cute set. I would like to get more life out of it. But once I tear this thing down, like it's gonna be torn down. And so that's when I was like, I need to start thinking this a little bit more. I need to start thinking about like the logistics of this, because if I'm gonna spend this much time and effort making this set, I want this thing to have legs. I want to be able to use this more than once. But that's where it gets tricky. That's where you really have to kind of put like your engineer hat on and be like, how can I make this so that it looks really cute, full and detailed, but it has to be able to fold down flat because, you know, you're probably going to want to make more than one of these. So you just kind of got to think about that. And that is why I use this flat foam board, because I just think it's so great. But I wanted to show one of my pieces. Now this is one, I'm gonna unfold it. It's gonna get really big here. This is a foam board I made for the American Girl kitchen. And this is just folded once. It opens up even bigger when you get to here. I don't even think I can get it all in frame here. But I wanted like a blue wall here. So this would be just like a standard wall that you would see in a house. And then here, this like brickwork scrapbook paper I used, this is where I actually push up against where I push the stove up against, just to kind of give it some like visual detail. Down here, I went the extra measure. I have one of those, it's like a paper cutter, and when you flip it, it can also be like a paper folder, if that's the right word. I don't remember. But I don't know if you can see it, but here I put little baseboards on, and I even went the extra mile where I put some folding detail in there. So I am one of those people where when I'm building something like this, I'm never content just slapping scrapbook paper on it. I like to really get in there and like work on the details, because I really do feel like all those little details really bring like the story to life. But yeah, so, oh, and I always write up here what's on the flip side, so I don't have to constantly shuffle. So on the bricks, on the back side of this kitchen, because I use both sides, I don't, you know, I want to maximize how much I get out of a piece of foam board. So this is the pricier foam board that I get from Michael's. So something like this, although granted, it is very, very big, as you can see. This is probably about $15. Now, granted, I'm getting it at Michael's, so I'm always using a coupon from the website, but I want to maximize how much I get out of this piece. So though this is my kitchen, on the flip side, I've got my brick wall, and I have now outfitted my brick wall with factory windows. Let me flip this over. For my movie. Now, obviously, I have to employ what do they call it? Like forced perspective, because otherwise if I'm trying to build a whole factory for my 18-inch dolls, it's gonna be way too big. So I have printed out some, went online, I found some images of factory windows, and I printed them out and kind of taped them to this wall of brick, essentially. Oh, by the way, this is like the best scrapbook paper. I'm hoping you can see it. I think you can. This is the best brickwork I found. I forget where I found it, but I feel like a lot of the time when I'm looking for brick, it's always like super distressed and kind of rugged and dirty. I like this one because it's so clean and pretty, but it's kind of funny because then I had to go and muddy it up because I shoot in 4K, and so I was doing kind of like test filming with this backdrop, and it looked really cute. But because I am such a, like, I get hyper focused on the details, it was so obvious that these windows were fake, like they were added later. So what I decided to do was I wanted to kind of hide the seams a little bit. Sorry, I'm struggling with this because it's so heavy. There we go. Okay, so I went ahead and kind of distressed it with a little bit of paint just to kind of like hide the seams a little bit so that the windows kind of blend a little bit better into this brick scrapbook paper. Now, of course, you're looking at it, you know, in 4K, 60 frames per second with these big lights shooting on it. In the movie, I use a dimmer, or I use a darker color scheme. It's a little bit more hidden. There's an overlay over it and stuff like that. So it looks a little bit better than what you're seeing right now. But yeah, I went ahead and just kind of distressed the edges of the windows a little bit just to kind of hide those seams. But yeah, thank you for indulging me on that little tangent right there. But I just kind of wanted to show you one of the set pieces I was working on because I'm kind of proud of it. I'm actually quite proud of how my movie is coming along right now. I just finished filming a big sequence and I got the entire like sequence done and it looks fantastic. And let me tell you something. For those of you who make your own movies and sometimes you get kind of frustrated because it's hard work. It really is. I spent like, I want to say about 2 days working on this sequence and I was doing it by myself. My husband was traveling and man, you guys, my back hurt, my feet hurt. I was so like, oh my God, I'm tired of doing this, but I just want to get this done. And I started editing it, and you guys, I was so disappointed. I was just like, why does this not look good? It's just not, it's not coming to fruition. It's not that vision I had in mind. And you know what I did? I wound up being like, you know what? I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna feel defeated. I'm not gonna throw in the towel. I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a couple days off and kind of like think about this. Like, why is this not working? Why does this not look the way I want it to look? And I kind of thought about it and I was like, it's because I need help. I can't do this all by myself. And so I waited for my husband to come back and I was like, hey, I need help with this. And my husband's incredible. He's like, okay, what do you need? And I'm like, I need another set of hands. I need a puppeteer to kind of help move other dolls so I can get a lot of dolls moving at the same time. Because you guys, this is gonna be my downfall. I feel like I bite off more than I can chew. I always have these like grand ideas with these grand stories, with these grand ensembles. And, but my husband was right there ready to help. And so I wound up reshooting this entire sequence and it looks so good. I am so happy with it. I was like beaming. I was editing it, putting it all together, and I had this rough cut and I was like, I'm just gonna spend a little bit more time on it, adding a few special effects and a few more overlays and so forth to really bring everything to life. Because I wanted to show it to my husband because my husband is like my best like he's my best critic, right? He'll definitely tell me if something's not working, you know, I'll show him something. He'll be like, oh, I don't know. It looks a little hokey. And I'm like, that's what I needed to hear. I agree. You're right. And so I was very, very excited with how this sequence shaped up. And so I was like, I'm going to show my husband. And I played it for him, and you guys, I was like, as it was playing, I'm like looking through the side, like I was trying to like read his face, and he was like grinning the entire time. When it was done, he was like, it looks really good. And I was like, yes! So I'm very, very happy. Sometimes you just need to kind of take a break, walk away, think it through, and then try again. And I'm glad I did, because it looks so fantastic. Again, I know I say this in every video. I cannot wait to share it with you. But something I can share with you is one of the actors in this sequence, and I don't know if you can recognize her right away in this outfit because she is all glammed up in the 1980s, but this is Miss Kit Kittredge herself. Straight from 1934, she is dressed for 1986. But I wanted to show her off because I thought she looked so cute. I think her little bob looks fantastic. Like, it just has like so much more attitude with this like big bow and the bracelets and stuff. I cannot wait for you to see. But you guys, I executed this perfectly. She does a huge high kick in the movie that it made my husband just like crack up. It's funny because when you're working with American Girl dolls, let's be real, right? These are just kind of like basic, you know, we just got the standard 5 points of articulation. And then when you've got them in like leggings and then this thick skirt, they really don't have much movement. So you've got to get really creative with how you shoot and how you edit. But yeah, you're gonna see Kit Kittredge do a high kick and it looks fantastic. But with having said that, I think I'm going to end the video here. Thank you once again for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time looking at Maryellen's stove. I don't know if you gleaned anything from my advice on how to build doll sets and stuff. I'm definitely going to do one that gets a little bit more thorough, a little bit more deep, and how I like to do that. But I thought I just kind of wanted to show off this little set. And then of course we took a look at Kit. So thank you for hanging out with me. I definitely had a lot of fun today. If you wouldn't mind, I would absolutely love it if you'd subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to be notified every time I upload, and while you're at it, give this video a like. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time in the doll world. Bye.